with the fact that there's an increase in crime, and all of the reports seem to indicate that. But exactly what is the status of crime in America at this particular point?
Well, at this particular point, when we're talking about crime, I think every individual in America here is a victim of that. You are one way or the other involved or affected by these social malaise. I use the word social malaise because it's a social issue here that affects the family, that affects government, that affects the community, and also it's a cross-cultural thing. You find that in Britain, Africa, and other parts of the world. But generally speaking, crime in America has increased to an exponential rate. An exponential in the sense that when you look at the historical development here, quite generally speaking, crime increased exponentially beginning from the 1933. 1933 moved into 1972. During this period, during this historical development, what we saw here is a fast increase in crime. But as we progress in our discussion, I will explain to you some of those variables that contributed to this exponential increase.
Well, now, what are some of, since we are talking about that area, what are some of the things, because I think most of the time that we hear reports about crime, we hear that there's some connection between the drug question and crime. Yet, in your outline, you gave that period between 1933 and the 1970s as an increase. Did the drug question play that much of a problem during that period, or is the drugs a relatively recent variable in the crime question, of what?
Not at all. It has been a very pervasive issue here in this country. When you look at the time in terms of historical development, during the 1960s, I think this was a period in the area of social sciences called the psychedelic period. During that period, you and I and others will agree that it was a period of civil rights here. A group of individuals questioning for what is right and what is just and what is unjust here. And